Alistair Weaver here for Edmunds with the new Porsche Taycan GT Weissach Edition. All 1,092 horsepower on a private circuit in Spain. This is the most powerful production Porsche ever, and it's an EV. This is the first Taycan to carry the famous GT badge, like the Cayenne GT, which designates it's really something special. Launch control activated, left foot on the brake, right foot on the throttle, and release. Honestly, it's all getting a bit silly. That, ladies and gentlemen, 0 to 60 in 2.2 seconds.
Before we get too deep into the lappery, let's take a proper look at the car. The Turbo GT is the poster person of the revised Taycan lineup, and you get two to choose from. A standard version with a cute gurney flap, and a more hardcore, track-focused Weissach edition with a more extrovert rear wing. We don't have the EV range figures yet, but if that's your focus, don't buy the Turbo GT. This car is Porsche's response to the Tesla Model S Plaid and the Lucid Air Sapphire, competing for car shoppers who need 1,000 horsepower. On the surface, the Tesla looks an absolute bargain, but Porsche has never been the cut price option. So what exactly are you getting for almost $250,000?
So let me take a breath for a moment and talk about our new charge. This is the updated Porsche Taycan with a slightly different nose job and some pretty fundamental engineering changes inside. And this is the Turbo GT Weissach Edition, which is their new all-singing flagship. And this has some little modifications of its own. New front diffuser, new side blades here that are designed to channel air down the side of the vehicle. We've got Turbo GT specific forged wheels here. This car is riding on Pirelli P0R tyres, 21-inch rims. But if you're going to be more track focused, you can opt for the Pirelli P0 Trofeo RS tyres, which are a softer compound, give you more grip in ideal conditions. Don't use those on a cold day in Michigan. Following down the side of the car, new side blades. That's also about channeling air. And then, of course, the pièce de résistance here at the rear, a giant carbon fibre rear wing with the words Weissach and a little map of Porsche's famous test track here. So your friends down the pub know that you are indeed the real deal. But what you won't be doing is taking your friends home from the pub, because as you can see, Porsche has ripped out the rear seats in this, the Weissach edition. If you want the standard Turbo GT, then you get two individual chairs, and you have to sacrifice these rather fabulous carbon fibre buckets, which were stolen from the 919 hypercar. All of this apparently saves about £20 in a vehicle that weighs the best part of 5,000. So it's more about the gesture, the symbolism, than the weight-saving reality. What is this, I hear you ask? Well, if you lift this cover, you get a nice little cubby hole, perhaps a couple of soft bags. But beware, bit of practical consumer advice here, this carbon fibre is super easy to scratch, so be warned. Apart from these pretty fabulous bucket seats, the rest of the interior is standard Taycan fare, which, let's face it, is no bad thing. You get a bit more Alcantara and these cheeky little paddles here. Now, if you pull the right one, which says plus, it activates attack mode, which gives you the full 1,092 horsepower for up to 10 seconds. If you have the non-Weissach version, then you push a button here, but if you have the Weissach, you pull the paddle. It's a cool feature, which I kind of like. Anyway, enough of me pontificating, let's get back to the circuit. This thing is super technical. It's actually quite a soft brake pedal, particularly compared to something like a GT3 or GT3 RS. This is a fast section. We're doing about 120 miles an hour with a little glance down, feeling the ABS kicking in. You never quite disguise the fact that this is a heavy car. Yes, it weighs 157 pounds less than a Turbo S, but it's still a pretty hefty car. But it does do a little bit of a correction there. If you carry too much speed in its natural inclination is to push, this is a blind fast corner. This is a pretty tricky technical circuit. Okay, brake. Just trail brake it in a little bit. This is the first EV I've driven on a circuit that you actually drive, you know, like a proper sports car. Honestly, Porsche doesn't expect too many people to bring it to a circuit, not least because you've got to think about your charging infrastructure. You'd probably need a tow truck with some fast chargers out the back, which thankfully we have today, but you wouldn't have on your typical track day. This is more of a kind of testament to what Porsche can do, and it's a halo car for the new Taycan range. It's a tribute to the future, if you like, and it's brutally fast. The only car I can think of that I've driven with more power than this was the Pininfarina Battista, and that thing is what, $3.5 million. So in comparison, this thing is an absolute bargain. Is it as much fun around here as a GT3 or GT3 RS? Well, no. It's a little bit more of a blunt instrument. You feel the mass. It's not really designed to be a kind of race car for the road, but it is mighty impressive. All that this car has to offer, the extraordinary engineering, the amount of work that has gone into it, the finesse, the detail, the talent. Porsche is doing a pretty amazing job of keeping its brand DNA. You miss the noise, of course, but it still feels like a Porsche. It's still really exciting, and of course it's brutally fast. What don't I like? Well, I'd like a little bit more of a firmer brake pedal. It's drive-by-wire, so presumably could engineer that in. And the ABS threshold come very early compared to one of the GT gas cars, but wow, this is a cool toy. You see that I'm sweating a little bit? So my heart rate has just about returned back to its normal state. As you can tell, it's been a terrible afternoon here in Spain. But time for a conclusion. What do we really think of the Turbo GT? Well, this is all about Porsche showing off the improvements to the new Taycan, and also showing that if they need to be an EV brand, they can still be properly Porsche. And honestly, I think they've done a fantastic job at a price, of course. If you want to read the full review and that of the more standard updated Taycan, head to edmunds.com and search Taycan, and while you're there, check out everything else that we have to offer. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'm off for some tapas. If you enjoyed this video, then please do like and subscribe, and head to edmunds.com for all your car shopping needs. Thank you very much. See you next time.